Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video where we are going to be talking about different roles and career paths in financial markets or in the world of finance. So if you are a finance undergrad and you are confused what you can do once you finish your finance degree, so this video is going to be a goldmine for you. So why am I making this video? And it's a very impromptu video. It's because I myself am a undergrad student in finance, and when I was thinking about what I need to do after I get done with my uni, which is not now because I actually did my research beforehand, probably 1 or 2 years ago, I had my vision, I had my goals in mind, but I actually struggled finding what exactly are the options and career paths available to people who do finance as a degree. So other than being a financial manager, chief financial officer, all of these words, I wanted it to be something very specific. What are the roles? What are the career paths that are available to people who want to get into finance? And I found my path, I found what I want to do, I found my career, but there are many others who are struggling. And when I see videos, there are usually 2 career options, 5 career options, 10 career options. But in this video, I'm going to give you 15 different examples of careers in finance. So no further ado, let's begin. I'll share my screen. Let me minimize myself. Yeah, that's enough. Let's go to the screen. So starting with 15 finance career paths, let me do a quick slideshow. So the first one is a financial. Okay, I'll start with the basics, which you might have heard of, but going ahead, you'll definitely come across few finance career paths which you might not have heard of in the past. So a financial planner, and the average annual pay is mentioned here. So I just got this data from Glassdoor. This is an average, so make sure that in the market, obviously it depends on what firm you are working for and whether you are an expert or an entry-level job holder, varies on a lot of aspects, but the average annual pay for a financial planner is around 80K annually. So what does a financial planner do? Obviously, they work with clients and plan their finances and plan their life ahead. They plan their investments and they give them financial advice, insurance advice, and whatnot. So what are the skills needed to be a financial planner? So obviously, you'll be working with a lot of clients as a financial planner. You will plan their expenses, you will plan their revenues, you will make sure that they spend their resources, that is their financial resources, in what do I say? Let's take a word as they spend their in an appropriate way, right? In a rational way. So all of these skills need to be present in a financial planner. You should know how to communicate, you should know how to network with your clients, forecasting, you should know what are the goals of your clients. So you should be very detail oriented. You should have the knowledge of investment products, let's say equity, bond, fixed income, cryptos, all of these things, right? So financial planners, I wonder if they are into crypto right now, but all of these different investment products, you should have a knowledge about it so that you can advise your clients. So that's the first career option. If you like working with people and advising them, then this is the perfect role for you. Then there is a financial controller. Financial controllers, they don't work with clients. They are usually working with corporations, and they make financial statements, they manage the finances of company, they prepare financial analysis documents, they prepare the cash flow statement. All of this stuff is done by a financial controller. And as a financial controller, you should have hardcore Excel skills, PowerPoint skills to present your views, and obviously you should be good with financial statements, all the 3 statements: balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. You should be very well versed in those. You should know how to create them, you should know how to dissect them, you should know how to forecast them, all of those things. You should be very analytical in this role as a financial controller. And the average pay is around 86,000 per year. Once again, it's an average. There is no fixed pay for any of the positions which I'm discussing. The third one is an investment banker. Now this is something which a lot of you might have heard already, and investment banking is actually working as an agent or as a middleman between 2 parties. So there might be a corporation or there might be another corporation. Let's say one corporation wants to take over the other, or these 2 corporations want to merge. So all of the process which is done by an investment bank, and investment bank is basically a middleman, and to complete these transactions, they take a fee out of it, and that's how they make money. Now, this is just one part of investment banking which I described, that is mergers and acquisitions, but there are many other things which investment banks do. Let's say a company wants to raise money from the capital markets, then they will approach an investment bank. The investment bank will prepare the prospectus, the investment bank will value them, the investment bank will promote them in the public, all of these things. So investment banks do a lot of stuff. So getting into investment banking is one of the most prestigious finance careers, and it starts with an analyst position. So there's an analyst, then you go to associate, and then you go to vice president, then you go to MD, all of these things. So the basic pay is $90,000 right out of college if you get into a good bulge bracket or a boutique investment banking firm. So investment banker is also a very appealing and a very great career option in finance. So what are the skills you should have? Obviously, you should be very good with time management, because investment bankers are known to work 80, 85, 90 hours in a week. You should be very detail oriented, and of course Excel. You should know financial modeling. I have not mentioned financial modeling, but financial modeling, LBOs, DCF, all of these skills, it should be on your fingertips, right? And investment products as well. Communication, obviously, communication is basically not just restricted to one role in finance. Communication is a universal skill which every one of us must know. And obviously financial statements, you should know how to dissect them, analyze them, create them. Then comes the risk analyst. This is very important. They make around 80 to 85,000 a year. Now, being a risk analyst, obviously you work with the senior traders, you work with the senior portfolio managers in a company, and you calculate the risks associated with investment. You plot the risk and return spectrum of a given investment. Let's say a company wants to buy another company, and you as a risk analyst would find out what's the risk premium that is worth paying for. You would also find out what the risks associated. Let's say another example, a portfolio manager wants to buy 10% stake in a publicly listed company. So you as a risk analyst will help the portfolio manager, the senior portfolio manager, to gauge the risks associated and how much alpha can be generated if you invest in this company, and all of these sort of things. So being a risk analyst is a very crucial part in any financial institution. But being a risk analyst, you should be very well versed with statistics, mathematics. You should work well with numbers. You should work well under pressure, and obviously you should have analytical skills as usual. And MS Excel is basically, if you are in the world of finance, then the first thing you do is don't even watch this video, go and learn Excel and come back and then watch this video, right? So learning Excel is very important in the world of finance. Then comes the tax consultant. Tax consultant is basically, as the name suggests, you work with clients again. So if you're someone who loves to communicate, work with clients, and understand what their needs are and provide them specific tailor-made solutions, then tax consultancy is for you. Tax consultants basically work with clients and they tell them how to manage their spending, how to minimize their taxes within the law. So you're not breaking the law, you're not evading the taxes, but you are minimizing the taxes as well. So that's what tax consultants do. And being a tax consultant, you should be very well versed with the industry, how the industry is changing, how the laws are changing, and what different investment products you can suggest to your client so that they can save taxes, tax saving investments, and where are the tax deductions where they can claim a refund. All of these things, you should be well versed with this as a tax consultant. So if this is something which excites you, then tax consultancy is the way ahead for you. They make around 85,000 a year as well. So these are the skills which are important. And it's the same as a risk analyst a little bit. It's basically a mixture of all. Financial planners and tax consultants are a little bit same, but they also need to have knowledge about tax laws, right? And investment products, because there are many investment products which can help you save taxes. So talking about in Asia, there is something called ELSS. So these are equity linked tax saving schemes. So you can save taxes when you invest in this. So you should also, and there are some tax-free schemes. I have actually written them in my book as well. I remember I was doing a course about introduction to wealth management, and there was a very interesting topic about saving taxes with life insurance. I think, yeah, it's here, life insurance. all have tax-free death benefit. Life insurance is an important product for wealth managers. They can advise it to clients. Tax efficient, yeah. The death benefit received is tax-free, yeah. So you should have knowledge about investment products, because there are many investment products such as life insurance as well, where you can get tax-free benefits. So that's the role of a tax consultant. Another thing, you can be a portfolio manager. Portfolio manager is basically someone who invests the money of the clients in the stock market, or let's say the money market, on the basis of the client. So the clients give you a lot of money and you go and invest that money on their behalf. So that's what a portfolio manager does. You manage the portfolio of others. So this is a very highly competitive industry. This is a very fast moving industry, fast paced industry, and there is no space for people who do not have the courage to take in the losses as well. Because portfolio managers, they work day and night. They are very decisive. Any event happens, they have to take a decision whether to buy or sell, whether to hold or not hold, right? They should be very well adept in financial analysis and valuation, and they should have eye for detail. So you should be very detail oriented, and you have to obviously work with stakeholders, meet with companies, and decide what companies you're going to buy, what companies you're going to sell, all of that. So that's what portfolio managers do. Obviously, I'm not telling you everything. This is not a detailed video where we are diving deep into specific careers. This is just a video where I'm giving you different career options which you can opt for. So apart from tax consultants, portfolio managers, financial planners, there is one more thing which is called credit analyst. Okay, let's go with equity research analyst first. So equity research analyst is basically a subset of portfolio manager. So let's say I'm the portfolio manager. I have $1 million. I can invest this $1 million which my clients have given me into the markets. But for that, obviously I cannot do all the work myself. So I will take the help of equity research analysts. So these equity research analysts are going to prepare reports for me. They're going to research companies. They're going to put in the work. They're going to do financial analysis. They're going to do financial forecasting. And then these people are going to work on Excel. These people are going to create financial models. These people are going to create PowerPoint presentations, and they're going to help me decide whether it's the right decision to invest or not. So to be an equity researcher, you should be good with accounting. You should know financial analysis, financial ratios. You should work well with numbers, all of these things. So that's the role of an equity researcher. This is something which I personally love, but the time commitment in an equity researcher job is also substantial. Moving ahead, there is wealth management and private banking. So there are two types of banking. There is commercial and there is private banking. That's retail banking and private banking. So private banking is basically for high net worth individuals. So people like you and me, or let's just say me, I do not go to private bankers, because private bankers, private bankers, they serve the high net worth clients, the people who are mega rich. They have, let's say, 10 million, 15 million, or more than that, resources in their bank accounts, and they want to get tailor-made specific solutions for themselves. Those are the people who private bankers work with. They give them advice into where they have to invest, whether there is let's say a startup where they can invest, whether this is a good time to invest into the stocks, whether it's a good time to diversify, all of these things. That's the wealth manager. Wealth managers, they are not just restricted to investments. They're also helping their clients in business succession planning. They are helping their clients in tax planning. They are helping their clients in estate planning, all of these things. So wealth managers are basically working for their clients to grow their wealth and distribute their wealth once the client passes away. They also have a plan in place to distribute the wealth, which is called estate planning or business succession planning, right? Then to be a wealth manager, you should be... Okay, there's someone using the freaking washroom in my home and the flush. Let me pause this video and come back in a while. Okay, I'm back. Let's go back to... so you were at wealth management. They work with clients, so obviously they need to have good communication, good networking, sales skill as well, because you got to promote yourself as a good wealth manager, and you have to be always present for your clients, all of these things. Okay, so far we have covered 8 different finance careers which you can go for. Now, if you have found something which really interests you and gives you that passion, then I'm happy for you. If not, then stay tuned, because let's discuss the remaining 7. Credit analyst. Now, what is a credit analyst? So they're also called loan officers. Okay, so it's a credit risk analyst or a loan officer. They make about 75,000 a year, and what they do is basically, let's say if I need a loan, I go and apply for a loan in the bank. So is the bank going to give me the loan or not? This is the job of the credit risk analyst. The credit analyst is going to evaluate, is going to measure, is going to gauge your financial soundness. Okay, so credit analysts, they actually evaluate the applications. They check whether the applicant can pay back the loan, what is the risk if the loan is sanctioned to the applicant. All of these things, it's dealt by the credit analysts or the loan officers. Okay, it's a very interesting job. It's basically working with numbers, working with statistics, making forecasts, predictions, and coming to a decision. So that's what credit analysts do. And communication is not really important, because credit risk analysts do not work with clients one-on-one. They are employed by firms, and they should definitely have attention to detail whenever they work on an application, and they should definitely have good risk analysis and statistical knowledge, and they should be very good with documentation, as I've mentioned here. So all of these things, and accounting as well at times, and knowledge of the industry is very important in credit risk, being a credit risk analyst, because different banks have different policies, different norms of sanctioning the loans. So if you are up to date with the industry trends, then it's a brownie point for you as a credit risk analyst, right? Then there is sales and trading. Now, sales and trading is basically this is also another division within investment banks. As we discussed, you can be an investment banker, so there are many things in an investment bank. So sales and trading is also one of the things, and sales and trading is basically you are the market makers. So let's say people want to big investors, they want to buy, let's say, big chunks of shares from the public markets, and someone must be willing to sell that. So that's the job of sales and trading. Now, trading also includes the traders using the capital of the bank to trade. So let's say it's different from portfolio management. Okay, so portfolio managers use the capital of investors, so other investors give them the money and they trade. But trading within an investment bank is basically the traders using the money of the bank. So the capital on the balance sheet of the bank is being used by the traders to invest into the market, and these are not investments but trades. So these are usually short term and short to mid term. So that's the role of sales and trading. And also, let's say there is a big order coming in. Let's say a big investor, high net worth individual wants to buy 5 million shares of a company. So the sales team is going to execute that transaction. So they are going to find them a seller, or if not, they are going to make the market for it. So that's how they work. They work with clients. They work well with client facing roles. If you are someone who loves to talk to clients, network with clients, and all of these things, and work under pressure, that's the number one thing. So sales and trading is for you. So attention to detail, risk analysis, decisiveness, and you should be passionate about the markets. Obviously, technical analysis. To be a trader, you should know price charts and all of these things. Public accountancy is obviously the art of recording transactions and preparing the financial statements, all of these things. So if you want to be an accountant, working with numbers and working under, there is nothing innovative in being an accountant, I believe so personally. So if you're someone who wants to stick to traditional career paths in finance, then finance and accounting basically. So accountant is a good role as well. So you should have definitely financial statement preparation skills and oral communication and written communication. I don't really think oral communication is very important unless and until you are a senior accountant. For junior accountants, written skills are definitely important, because you will be working on creating different statements and different analysis, and you would be presenting them in PowerPoints, in Excel. So you should have those skills. Auditing. So auditing is basically, auditing comes after accounting. So once the accountants complete their job, they create all the financial statements, then comes the role of an auditor, who cross checks, double checks, examines, evaluates the financial statements prepared by the accountants. So that's the role of an auditor. For an auditor, obviously you should have a very keen eye to detail, attention to detail. You should be very detail oriented. That's the gist which I would say, and these are the skills which are needed. I have just copy pasted the same skill of an accountant and an auditor, but you should know that auditor can have an upper hand over accountants, because these are like the moral police for accountants. So they can go and tell the accountant that you did not do your job right. So public companies, they have to take sign from an auditor of their annual financial statements, and if an auditor does not sign the statement, then that means this public company cannot release the report to the shareholders. So the power of an auditor is pretty high, especially if you're working with the big firms in the industry, the big four dogs. Then comes an asset manager. Asset manager and portfolio managers are a little bit similar, but portfolio manager is usually just into financial markets, but asset manager is broad category where they move away from financial markets. They also go into real estate, they go into businesses and stuff. So there are physical investments involved. There is real estate, gold, and all of this stuff as well in an asset. So you manage a lot more being an asset manager than being a portfolio manager. And other than that, there is financial journalism. This is something which I really love, and I am connected to it in some way or the other since the last 2 years. And you can be an investor relations manager. Investor relations manager is also someone who needs to have very good and strong skills in communication, written, oral, and you should work with the stakeholders, talk to them, all of these things. So all the public companies, they have an investor relations department. So they actually liaise with investors and the company higher ups. So you are basically the middleman between the investors and the company superiors. So you are investor relations manager. And there is actuary and quants. These people are the same. They work usually with proprietary trading firms and algo trading firms. They are very good with numbers. They work with traders. They create strategies. They create risk assessments, all of these things. So this is the job of quants. And there is commercial banking, of course, just like the credit risk analyst job. So that's found in commercial banking rather than private banking. And even in private banking, credit risk is found, but credit risk analysts or loan officers are very aggressively functioning in the commercial banking world, right? And yeah, so this was it. And I actually saw this flowchart in a YouTube video which I really liked. So I'll just leave this here and keep talking so you can meanwhile see the different branches. Let's say if you're a finance major, there are different branches which you can venture into, and within those branches there are specific career paths for you. As we discussed, we have pretty much more or so discussed all the things mentioned here. So if you want, you can take a screenshot or pause the video and see it. Now, me personally, I think a video like this is going to help a lot of people, because a lot of people who are into finance and do not know still what they want to do can take something or the other, some knowledge from this video. So if this video has helped you in some way, shape or form, then please make sure that you like this video or comment on this video or just share it with someone else. I know that I make very raw videos. I don't create a lot of edits, and I definitely do not put in efforts like others, but I feel like if I know something and I pass it on to others, then even if it's not highly edited or not highly produced, I think the message gets passed across. So that's it from my side. If you're new on the channel, then definitely do check my other videos. I talk about business, I talk about finance, leadership, speaking skills, and self-development as well. So thank you for watching this video if you have reached the end, and bye bye. See you in the next video. Bye bye.